Hey, good morning. This is William from William Palm Fine Art. Thank you for taking a look at my video here. Today I have a little 5 by 8 watercolor book. This is by a company called Arteza. Found these books on Amazon and I thought I'd give them a go, but I use these to do kind of mini lessons and sketch ideas, and I kind of use them to practice some of my watercolors. For those of you who don't know, I paint with watercolors and oils, and then if I thought I'd do a little sketchbook flip through here just to show off just a few things I've done to plan and to teach with my group. I teach painting lessons online and at South Avenue Art in Garwood, New Jersey, and I like to have these little books to work with students from time to time. But you could see here on the first couple of pages, these are basically color test sets. When I get a new set of paint, sometimes I just like to spread them around and see how the color changes from light to dark just by using water and make a little color chart out of these. I do try to label them, so this particular piece was from a Fine Tech set that my daughter Ava had given me for Christmas back in the end of 2025, and this is a metallic set from Van Gogh and a Daniel Smith color set that my wife had gifted me for that same Christmas, and I've been using them throughout the year with my Holbein watercolors as well. When I teach demonstrations, I do use Holbein tubed acrylic paints and other paints just to show differences in brand and how they play on the paper. But most of these demos were done with the idea of showing anything from making simple landscapes. Maybe I'll turn this one wide for now. Showing some simple landscapes that I've made, like the sunset scene. When I was painting this, I kind of was showing how to push the color around and how to build up layers of color. And then some of these exercises actually make nice little 5 by 7 paintings. Some of them look great in a frame. And I just thought I'd show a flip through. Like, this was a demonstrate. This started as a demonstration on how to use brush drawing techniques and color dropping to get the color to run. This was a exercise I did along to show a sunset. I did that with a longtime student at the art center I teach in. And anyway, in this sketchbook flip through, you could see some of the pictures are a little bit more, some of the paintings are a little more thought out and a little more realized, and some of them are just starts. And sometimes what I like to do when I go through these, if I am trying to think through an idea or see how colors might layer, for my own work, I will come into a piece like this and just kind of wake up a section. So if I wanted to turn this, it looks like I started a lighthouse here. If I wanted to just see how this might turn out, I can give this a quick spray and work into it a little bit more if I wanted to. And maybe I'll come back to that later. Anyway, I enjoy working pretty directly with the watercolors. Many of these ideas have no pencil sketch to start. I save some of the pencil sketching for when I'm ready to do something. My hand had a pencil sketch here, and yeah, this quick little sketchbook, very nice. This was a planning sheet for a larger painting that I was working on. This was my color test sheet just to see if I was putting things where I needed them to go. And again, when I play with ideas like this, sometimes it's just a nice quick way to get some of my ideas in place. So anyway, I got a blank page here, and if I was just going to do a quick idea, maybe I'll fill a piece in right now. Just a quick demo at the end of this video. I'll say maybe, I'm not using any reference here, but let's say maybe I want to get an idea out of playing with brush strokes and maybe doing something like a simple cherry blossom type of branch. I did this as a workshop. I usually don't wet my paper on this particular one. I usually wet these shapes, but again, this is an experiment that I thought I would do here. I am using Ecosa brushes, my Holbein watercolors, and I love playing with a good watercolor here. You can see in this picture where my paper is wet and getting little, the paint spreading out, giving me some marks that just kind of happen where the paper is wet. Where the paper is a little bit more dry, I'm getting more of a direct kind of shape coming right off of the brush. But sometimes when I play with doodles and drawings like this, it helps. One, it helps me kind of think what my colors are going to do and how they're going to react when I play together, how I might make interesting mixtures. So let's say maybe I want to get some violets in here. I'm going to wake up a blue, whichever blue it is. This has got a little blue-green cast into it right there. I'll just show it to you on that page. Maybe I just want to, while this is all nice and wet, drop in some color. Hopefully not bleed this out, but just got a pretty strong, highly concentrated, sometimes I say a strong mix, but it's a higher concentration of paint. I'm going to hope that that holds up, because I'm really not sure that I want unnecessary blooms in here. But I do want to play with this quickly and just kind of, I'm not even going to like over touch the paint. I'm just going to let it bleed a little bit and see what happens there. I can, if I wanted to play with something like, okay, let's see if I can get this brush a little cleaner here as I throw my fist over this little demo. If I wanted to play with an idea like pulling color back or guiding those colors a little bit, I can roll a clean brush in here, just dapping it off on a paper towel. I can come in here and gently lift. I could do this with a Q-tip or with a paper towel, even with a sponge too. And I'm just gonna see right here what happens if I pull the color back a little bit, make it look a little lighter. This is called lifting out. And sometimes, you know, when you're playing with a project, lifting out could be just as important as putting in. I am working pretty quickly, hoping the design and composition is okay, but again, this is just a sketch, just a quick, fast, let me see what's going to happen here. And then when I'm playing with this thing, I'm going to throw a little crimson into this mix too. You know, make sure that's good and strong. It might be good like if you're using a tubed watercolor. And I should just grab a tube real quick, but I'm gonna wake this up good. This is almost solid tube consistency. I'm just gonna let this kind of in-between color play for a minute. Let it spread out in this little star pattern. Just see what happens before that paint dries up. And sometimes when I do exercises like this, I work with a lot of people who get nervous about the watercolor, and oftentimes I will hear that, oh, I don't know, the water, but I'm looking at what the water's doing in this little sketch. Not saying I'm going to sell this and frame it as a gallery-ready piece. This is just a sketch and just an exercise. Good for warming up. Might be good for something later. I am going to attempt, let's see if I can wake up some paint here. See if I can almost one stroke this and get this good and dark. Hopefully that will have a kind of tree-like look. And again, I can play with getting this color down. I'm going to keep this paint good and strong. Let's see, maybe I got something holding on over here, comes into something bigger. I feel like I should have not run that way, but I'm just going to wake this up good. This is almost solid tube consistency. I'm just gonna let this in-between color play for a minute. Let it spread out in this little star pattern. And then when I'm playing with this thing, I'm I feel like I maybe it pokes off here. You can see the color getting a little duller. I got this mixing through, I got this brown I am using. It's a burnt umber, mixing into a blue puddle. It makes kind of a nice little black. And I'm just going to throw that in there and see how this kind of starts to look. And again, it's just a doodle, just playing with a couple of brushes here. Not going to get anything too thin out of that. And some of this might bleed together. I'm going to try to be pretty careful here. See if I can get a different brush. Maybe I'll try a flat brush, something like that. Nice little DaVinci Cassia paint. I'm going to see if I can wake up some greens here. Again, I'm going to use this pretty thick. Hopefully I don't bleed it right into the reds. Maybe I'll keep this away from that pink mess for now. And I can just play with marking shapes if I'm feeling confident, or if anything happens, or if I touch that paint, or if I want to loosen this up a bit with some water. Yeah, it's maybe too much water, but I can experiment with how thick or thin this paint is going to go on. And in this quick demo at the end of my video here, at the end of my quick flip through, this is what I have these little books for. Now, if I'm planning a bigger idea or doing an observation from life right now, I'm just kind of working from the imagination. If I do decide to play a little bit with compositions, again, this is just a nice way to bring them to life, and it is kind of interesting to see what kind of color. Like, I'm throwing some green and mineral violet together right now, and oh my god, I have some red bleeding into there. I'll let that turn gray. Looks like a shadow. Put an extra green on it later. Maybe I just want to touch in. I'll wake up some more of that green. A little darker green like that. Maybe coming out where I want these illusion of a bent over leaf maybe. And I'm just kind of touching, letting the brush do. If I get a little texture on there, I'm not going to worry about it. Sometimes those marks are excellent for going in and getting just an idea down. And if anything, I think painting like this, deciding where to stop, is probably one of the hardest things to do. And it's like you just got to say, okay, I'm going to let it be. And I got just this nice little color thing going on. Again, it's not necessarily something that I'm going to say, hey, look at this in a gallery or a museum, but this could be, hey, you know, how did I make this blackish green, this darkish green over here with a mixture of violet and cadmium green that I have in my paint set? And what kind of colors does this make, or how does the paint spread when the water's wet? So yeah, these little 5x7 books, these are great. Again, this set was from a company called Arteza. They had a 3-pack on Amazon that was like $30 maybe at the time when I bought the 3 books for demos. And it's nice to have a sketch surface to play on where things can just sort of happen. So like when I painted this cat as a how do you get these initial colors, I used the same idea. I did this in the hand too, that's kind of flipping here. Trying not to lay that down because my painting's wet, but I started all this background by playing with my reds, playing with the colors as close as I wanted to get them in the composition. And then when I started laying the cat in, I did put a pencil sketch for the cat's head. And in the sketch I wasn't worried. It looks like a different cat in here. I feel like I painted a tabby instead of this cute little thing with that shape of that head. Anyway, painting the cat in here, I did the same thing that I just demonstrated, only I planned out where I needed the most important elements in the work. So I have big shapes marked for where the paws are, the big shapes in here, and then when I came in to do the face, I just layered on top of that. And in a sketch like this, where it's done pretty quickly, there's not a lot of worry about messing up or making mistakes. It's just a quick experiment, which I think is one of the best ways to learn watercolors. You just kind of play, experiment, see what your colors do, and just give yourself a little bit of time for that. Anyway, thanks for checking out my quick demo and my sketchbook flip through. I have other sketchbooks that I might share along the way here. If you like the video, please hit that like button. And I'm also available on Patreon. I'm putting uncut videos on my Patreon page. If you want to check that out, there'll be links in the description. And thank you for watching. Have a good day.